So, just before I start this video, guys, did you know that if you play Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, or 3 on Halloween, you get these cool little pumpkins and Halloween decorations in your office when you play? It's actually really cool. It's a neat little Easter egg that I kind of like. It's been around for about 2 years now, I think. I think Scott updated the games in 2016 to include these Easter eggs, and it's really, really cool. But if you miss doing it on Halloween, you can actually just change, like, the date on your computer to make it Halloween, and these cool little decorations will appear. So, yeah, guys, there's a little fun fact for you. And with that being said, let's get on to the video. Hey guys, my name is EthGoesBOOM and welcome to a brand new video. So, I hope you guys are having an awesome Halloween season. Now, Halloween is actually one of my favorite holidays of the entire year, despite the fact that where I live in Australia, not very many people celebrate it, but I'm just a huge fan of horror, and I like the creepy atmosphere that Halloween entails, and all the cool celebrations that people all over the world do for it. I just think it's a really cool holiday overall, and as such, I felt like making a list video today about one of the scariest things in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. And nope, I'm not talking about FNAF shipping, even though that is pretty scary, but instead, I'm talking about one of the staples of the series and one of the things that makes Five Nights at Freddy's so well known. That's right, the jump scares, and today, I decided to make a list video on the top 5 worst— oh jeez! God, that scared me. Jeez, did I just get jump scared in my own video? Oh god, please don't do that again. As I was saying, guys, today I'm making a list video on the top 5 worst FNAF jump scares. Now, like all my videos, this list is just entirely my opinion, and it's in no particular order, but basically, these are just the jump scares that, in my opinion, are just the least scary in the entire series, or just kind of fail to scare me overall, or just pale in comparison to all the other jump scares of the series. And with that being said, let's kick off this list with number 5. Number 5. Foxy's Jumpscare in Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I don't know if this opinion is going to make a lot of people really mad, because I know Foxy is a fan favorite among the fan base, but in my opinion, Foxy's Jumpscare in the very first Five Nights at Freddy's game is undoubtedly the weakest one, and in my opinion, the original Five Nights at Freddy's was one of the scariest ones in terms of atmosphere and jump scares, like ones like Chica's jump scare and Freddy's jump scare where he has the creepy empty black eyes. Like, those jump scares are freaking scary, especially when they're coupled with the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 jump scare Scream, which is one of the best ones in the entire series because it's so high-pitched and so shrill that it gives me goosebumps every time that I hear it. Now, on to Foxy. For those of you who have played Five Nights at Freddy's 1, or have even watched other people play it, like popular YouTubers, you might remember the adrenaline rush that you got when you first saw Foxy leaving Pirate's Cove and then running towards your office on the West Hall cam. That is scary, but then all it leads up to is kind of a weak jump scare in my opinion. All Foxy does is lean in through the office door and scream at you. He isn't like Freddy, Bonnie, or Chica, or even Golden Freddy, where they fully get into your face and scream at you. Foxy kind of just peers in through the door and looks at you. I mean, he does scream at you as well, but his jump scare is way less threatening than the other animatronics, and this extremely passive looking jump scare is exactly why people thought that Foxy was a good guy when Five Nights at Freddy's 1 first came out, because his jump scare is way less intense and way less scary looking than the other animatronics. It's just kind of weak in comparison to the others. I mean, I guess Foxy's scare factor in the first game mostly comes from the fact that he runs at you and you have to check on him constantly rather than his jump scare. I mean, Foxy is still a scary character in the first game, don't get me wrong, but his jump scare is just one of the weakest in the series in my opinion. Number 4. Yendo's jump scare from Sister Location Custom Night. Now, this is the second list video in a row where I've had to talk about Yendo, and I feel kind of bad for doing so, but I just couldn't help but include him again because Yendo's got one of the worst jump scares in Sister Location, and undoubtedly the worst jump scare in Sister Location Custom Night. Seriously, when I first saw this, I was really disappointed by it, and I actually thought it looked worse than some of those fan-made jump scares that you see on YouTube, like the Nightmare Spring Bonnie jump scare or Shadow Freddy jump scare. The one that you see on YouTube channels that fans make in Photoshop or something. I mean, a lot of those fan-made jump scares are really, really well done and very well put together. Most of those fan-made jump scares look better than Yendo's crappy jump scare in Sister Location. All he really does is kind of shove his face into the camera, then move it up and down a bit while moving his jaw. That's all he really does. I mean, the jump scare scream in Sister Location is pretty scary, or at least the one that's used on the custom night, because Sister Location has got like 5 or 6 jump scare screams, but I think all of the enemies in the custom night use the same jump scare scream, which is kind of scary. But with Yendo's really pathetically lame jump scare, it doesn't really have much of an effect on me, especially because Yendo's jump scare is usually pretty predictable. He's one of those characters that you'll almost always see his jump scare coming, unless you're being distracted by someone else like Mini Arena 2 or Lolbit or something. But yeah, Yendo has one of the most poorly made jump scares in the entire series in my opinion. It just looks kind of lame and kind of lazy, and I kind of wish it was done better, but oh well, what can you do? Alright, on to the next one. Number 3, Springtrap's jump scares from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Now, I remember when Five Nights at Freddy's 3 first came out, there was a bit of controversy among the fan base regarding Springtrap's jump scares. The whole problem with them being that they're not very scary at all. I mean, FNAF 3 brought something new to the table with the whole thing of there's only one animatronic now that can kill you, the animatronic being Springtrap, of course, and you would think that if only one enemy could kill you, that enemy should be really, really scary, should be completely feared by the player, and would have a terrifying jump scare. And nope, that wasn't the case with Springtrap. In fact, I would go ahead and say that the Phantom animatronics jump scares in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 are a million times scarier than Springtrap's jump scares are. I mean, especially Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, and Phantom BB. They have really, really cool jump scares, but all Springtrap does in his jump scare is kind of slide towards you very slowly and open up his eyes in kind of a surprised way. And then there's the second jump scare where he kind of looks like he's throwing his head back and forward again and looking at you in surprise, and his ears kind of flop around. It just looks really, really non-threatening and not scary at all. And I think this jump scare is kind of like Foxy's FNAF 1 jump scare, where it kind of brought about some theories that Springtrap doesn't actually kill you, and instead you're someone that Springtrap knows. And then when he sees you, his eyes kind of open up in surprise, and he kind of stops because he doesn't kill you, but instead he kind of realizes that you're someone that he used to know or something like that. That's an old theory that was kind of debunked a while back, like the whole is Foxy a good guy thing. But yeah, like the jump scares are so non-threatening that people were thinking at one point that Springtrap doesn't actually kill you, and that it was kind of like a whole Foxy was a good guy thing where maybe you die by a heart attack or something. But no, of course it's not the case. Springtrap is a serial killer, and of course he kills you. So yeah, both of Springtrap's jump scares in FNAF 3 are really weak in my opinion. They're definitely the worst in the game, and probably some of the worst in the series. And at least in Ultimate Custom Night, he got a way better jump scare in my opinion. And with that being said, let's go on to the next one. Number 2, Withered Chica's jump scare from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Now, this is quite ironic because in my opinion, Withered Chica is one of the best designed and scariest looking animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. But with that being said, she has the worst jump scare in the game. I mean, you know, Withered Bonnie has that cool thing where he leaps at you and looks like he's gonna grab you, and Withered Freddy kind of pops in front of you, chomping his jaw, and Withered Foxy and Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica and Puppet, they all leap at you, and geez, way too many animatronics leap at you in that game. Even Golden Freddy kind of leaps at you with his head, and yeah, but Withered Chica's jump scares just go, whoa! Again? Stop! Stop jump scaring me in my own video. Just stop it. I'm trying to record here. Gonna give me a heart attack. What was I saying? Yeah, Withered Chica's jump scare in comparison to those other ones is just kind of weak in my opinion. She kind of just pops up from beneath you for some reason. I mean, was she hiding underneath your table or something? But anyway, she pops up beneath you and then kind of moves her head slightly, and that's all she really does. Kind of like Springtrap, I feel like Withered Chica got a way cooler jump scare in Ultimate Custom Night where she waves her arms around in her head and stuff like that. But in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, her jump scare is just kind of lame and definitely the worst in the game. Okay, and before we go to the first entry, I want to name some honorable mentions, and I got a few to mention again in this video. Firstly, I want to mention Mini Arena's jump scare in Sister Location. Once again, I feel kind of bad because I've talked about Mini Arena in a list video before, but I have to mention her again because I feel like, besides Yendo, Mini Arena's got one of the worst jump scares in Sister Location. I mean, as I told you guys in a previous video, it took me about half an hour or so to beat the Night 4 challenge in Sister Location when I first played it, but that challenge was made a lot easier because I didn't consider it scary at all. All of the pressure and intensity came from whether or not I was going to beat it or not. None of it came from the potentially incoming jump scares arenas because the mini arenas aren't scary at all, and they have one of the least scary jump scare screams in Sister Location. Like I said before, there's like 5 or 6 jump scare screams in Sister Location, and mini arena not only has one of the weakest jump scares, but the weakest jump scare scream as well. I mean, it kind of sounds like a bird being choked or something, or stepped on, like yeah, just like that. Okay, and real quick, just one more honorable mention. I want to mention all of the Freddy Fazbear Pizzaria Simulator offers jump scares. Oh my goodness, I seriously do not like these jump scares. All of them are bad. Scrap traps, scrap babies, molted Freddys, and lefties. All of these jump scares are really, really weak, and it's kind of weird because the salvage jump scares are actually really, really good and pretty intense and scary, but all of the jump scares in the office are just really, really weak. They have like barely any frames, and it kind of just looks like the animatronics teleport in front of you all of a sudden, and they just pop in front of you instantly and scream at you. They don't even move, and despite the fact that they barely move, the background of the office like shakes violently, and that always really weirded me out. Like, why do the animatronics not move? They're not grabbing you or anything, but for some reason the background is shaking. It makes no sense. In fact, these jump scares were considered to be so low quality and bad that Scott actually had to update them. I think he kind of updated like the lighting and the rendering and stuff like that to make the animatronics look better. Like, I'll show you guys a little bit of a comparison. I'll show you guys Scrap Baby's jump scare because I think she's got one of the better ones. So before the update, Scrap Baby's jump scare looked like this. And after the update, Scrap Baby's jump scare looked like this. It was made to look a little bit better, so the jump scares look a little bit better now. They're still way too quick in my opinion. I don't like how the background shakes for no reason. However, I will say that I really, really do like the jump scare scream in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzaria Simulator. I think it's one of the best ones in the series, honestly. And after the jump scares were updated, they do look a lot better. Scrap Trap and Scrap Baby in particular, their jump scares look a lot scarier now, but they're still really, really weak in my opinion, and some of the worst in the series, but they should only be an honorable mention in my opinion because at least they were updated. Alright guys, let's go to number 1 on the list. Number 1. All of the shaking still frame image jump scares in Ultimate Custom Night. Withered Bonnie, Puppet, Golden Freddy, Phantom BB, Nightmare, Nightmare Mangle, Enid, Helpy, Music Man, and to a lesser extent, Trash and the Gang. I'm calling all of you guys out as number 1. Now, Ultimate Custom Night has got many, many jump scares within it. Some of them are really cool, some of them are kind of goofy looking and actually kind of funny, honestly, and some of them are terrible. And all of the really terrible ones are these still frame image jump scares. Now, I don't want to be too mean here because I know why these jump scares exist. I am aware that Ultimate Custom Night is a really, really big game, and there's only so many things that you can stuff into Click Team Fusion, which is the game engine for Ultimate Custom Night. So I do understand that Scott would have had to cut some corners in the game to make it run properly and not like completely crash every time that you boot it up. And one of those cut corners would have been making some of the jump scares simpler and making them either only be a still frame image on a screen or a shaking still image on a screen like Music Man's or Nightmare Mangle's. And also I want to point out that I do understand that with some of these characters like Music Man and the Puppet and Nightmarian, there's only so much you can do with those characters because their mouths don't move and their faces don't do much. But like Withered Chica's face also doesn't really move that much, but still in Ultimate Custom Night, she has a jump scare where she wiggles her arms around and she moves her head and stuff. It looks really, really cool. But ones like the Puppet and Music Man and Nightmarian, they don't do that. They just kind of shake violently on the screen and it looks really, really lazy. And like I said, guys, I understand why these jump scares are like this because you can only cram so many things into a Click Team Fusion game. And honestly, it's really impressive that Scott was able to put as much as he did into Ultimate Custom Night, but that doesn't mean that I can't dislike these jump scares because I do, guys. I really, really do dislike them, and they are undoubtedly the absolute worst in the entire series. But the ones that I really, really don't like are the Phantom ones, like Phantom Freddy and Phantom BB. Their jump scares are really, really bad, but undoubtedly the worst one in the entire game is Golden Freddy's jump scare. Despite the fact that he's supposed to be the one that's behind everything in Ultimate Custom Night, supposedly, he has the absolute worst jump scare in the entire game, and I'm gonna say it's also the worst jump scare in the entire series. It's so, so badly done. It's just, oh my goodness, I can't get over how bad it is. I mean, seriously, Golden Freddy, pick up your- Oh, jeez! Okay. Maybe I deserve that one, okay? I'll forgive that jump scare. I'll forgive that little interruption right there. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but Golden Freddy's is the worst in the entire series in my opinion. You know, the one from Ultimate Custom Night. And I kind of do understand what Scott was trying to do with this Golden Freddy jump scare. I think he was trying to do a throwback to Golden Freddy's kill screen in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. But here's the problem. Golden Freddy's kill screen in FNAF 1 looks really creepy, has a very scary jump scare screen, it's all distorted and just looks very terrifying. But this is not terrifying at all. Like, why couldn't Scott, like, zoom into Golden Freddy's face so at least it looks like the kill screen for Five Nights at Freddy's 1? Or like Nightmare's kill screen. Like, kill screens can be done very well. Like, I don't dislike the previous kill screens, but this Golden Freddy UCN one just looks really, really bad because it's not scary, it's not distorted in any way. I mean, look at Nightmarian's kill screen from FNAF 4. This looks creepy, and it's accompanied by that really creepy static sound that Nightmarian makes. His face is kind of distorted in a way. I don't really know how Scott did that. Maybe he, like, messed with the model a bit and made it look weird. Like, why couldn't he do that with Golden Freddy on his UCN kill screen and make his face look kind of weird and creepy? Maybe give it some glowing eyes, just anything. Or maybe merge it with that creepy kid face Easter egg that we see rarely in the game and kind of merge it with Golden Freddy's face, but I don't know, maybe they'd be giving away too much lore, but still, that would have been really cool. But yeah, anyway, all of these still frame image jump scares, and Golden Freddy's in particular, are, in my opinion, the absolute worst jump scares in the entire series. Alright guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of my opinions on the worst jump scares in the FNAF series? Do you guys want me to do a video on the best jump scares in the FNAF series? Because I got a lot of opinions on that too. There are a lot of jump scares in the series that are really, really good, and I would say there's more good jump scares than bad ones. I think it'd actually be harder to make a video like that because there's more options to choose from, you know? Alright, so yeah guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought, and also, what do you guys think are the worst jump scares in the FNAF series? And just let me know. Alright guys, so please give this video a thumbs up if you liked. I hope you guys are having a good Halloween. Please subscribe, really helps me out. And I'll see ya! Oh god. You had to get one more jump scare in, didn't you guys? Just one more jump scare. I better get out of here before I get a heart attack or something. See you guys next time. Bye everyone.